Today I'm behind it with a brand new 2021 Honda Accord, and this is the newest trim level, the Sport Special Edition that was introduced for this year. It sits right in between the Sport and the EX trims. So what do you get in this brand new Sport Special Edition, and how good is this Accord overall? Well, keep watching and find out. First, I want to give big thanks to Honda of Laos, which made this video possible. So if you're in the market for a brand new or used Honda, make sure you check them out. Their URL is in the description below. All right, I'm off. Let's see how good this brand new Accord Sport Special Edition is and see how it drives. Now, to start out, the 2021 Honda Accord was refreshed. So the outside was changed slightly, same to the inside, and a new trim level was introduced, and that is this one, the Sport Special Edition. And Honda decided to release another trim level because there's kind of like a big gap between the Sport and the EX. The Sport is a trim level for enthusiasts, people that want a good-looking ride on the outside, but not a whole lot on the inside. And the Sport previously could be configured with 6-speed manual, and that was a beautiful transmission. Unfortunately, Honda removed it, but you could still opt for the powerful 2-liter turbo engine, which is very powerful and silky smooth. Now, the EX, on the other hand, quite the opposite. It didn't look as good, but you got a lot more features on the inside, and it was just more comfortable overall. And that's where the Sport Special Edition comes in. This fills the gap in between so that you get some of the nice features that people are asking for inside a beautiful looking sport trim, and hence you have the Sport Special Edition. So what are the things that you get inside the Sport Special Edition that you don't with the Sport? Well, you get a leather interior. Yes, all the seats are covered in black leather, so they definitely smell nicer, they look nicer, they feel very nice. Also, along with that, you get heated seats up front, which is really, really nice. For those of you guys that live in colder climates, like where I am right now, it's winter, it's very, very, very cold out. It's very nice to have heated seats. You also get remote start, which is also great for those of you guys that live in colder climates, because now you can remote start your Accord, let it warm up before you have to go for a drive. And lastly, you get smart entry, which is basically keyless entry with auto locking if you step away from your Accord, right? Those are the main things that you get. There's other little things that Honda added. For example, USB ports in the back, which is very nice for your kids or just rear passengers in general. Also on the outside, you get a small little black spoiler that's on the trunk lid. It's very small, but it does add a little bit, a little more contrast, right? Especially with this beautiful sonic gray color that you can opt for. This is one of the brand new colors, and it really makes the Accord pop. And along with that spoiler, you do get a shark fin antenna, which is also black, and black mirror. So everything contrasts and flows very, very well. Now, I did mention about the outside being refreshed. It's kind of hard to tell unless you have a 2020 and 2021 parked next to each other, but the grille has been revised. It's actually slightly bigger now. The way they flow into the headlights have also been updated. Actually, not just for looks, but for functionality. The illumination is actually brighter now, and that is one of the big things that Honda changed. You do get nice looking LED headlights with LED daytime running lights and also LED fog lights below. So you get a complete package. To me, I like the front end. I love the boldness and the sleekness of the front end. Now moving to side profile, the Accord is long, low, sleek to the ground, and it has a good sports sedan look. Now, because the Sport Special Edition is based on the Sport trim, you do get standard 19-inch alloy wheels. Yes, they have a really unique design, and it fits the side profile beautifully. It really gives this Accord Sport Special Edition a special stance. And moving out back, I mentioned about that black trunk lid spoiler that you notice right away. You have LED tail lights and also dual chrome finishers on the bottom. That looks pretty darn good. Now on the inside for 2021, the biggest change is this infotainment screen. This 8-inch touchscreen has been updated. It's a little bit brighter. The resolution seems to have gotten better, and also the responsiveness is quite good. So as you can see, the interface is filled with big buttons, pretty easy to understand and navigate. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Wi-Fi are all standard. If you move up to the EX and above, you actually get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Unfortunately, they're not available on the Sport Special Edition. Now, if you move down, you have climate control, dual zones, and I love how the knobs turn blue to red, depending on if you're turning it colder or hotter. And of course, you have buttons for the heated seats. I mentioned that already. And underneath, you get 2 more USB ports and a 12V outlet. Pretty nice. Now, because it's based on the sport trim, you can see that the trim on the dash and the door panels kind of have like a carbon fiber look, a very sporty look. And I like it. I think it looks good. I love how that's matched with brushed aluminum everywhere inside. I think overall, this interior still looks good. Doesn't look outdated, and it still competes well with the other sedans in this segment. Other features that you get: 12-way power adjusting driver's seat, so that's nice. Also sport pedals, which look really nice, and paddle shifters. Now, how does this new Accord Special Edition drive? Well, one word: beautiful. Beautiful. I reviewed many Accords in the past, and every time I'm impressed by how good the drive is. It really is nice. It doesn't matter if you're driving a base LX or a hybrid or the top level touring, they all feel phenomenal, fantastic, and the ride is really, really beautiful. Let's start out with the suspension. It's doing a very good job soaking up all the bumps. I will admit that the higher trim level, the touring, for example, that gets adaptive dampers, the ride is even smoother. But even with this suspension around town, you're getting a very, very nice drive. The suspension is soaking up all the bumps very nicely. I don't feel too much. There's not a whole lot of rattles in here. Overall, things are pretty smooth. The visibility from the driving position is excellent. The windshield is huge, enormous. Same thing with the side windows. Also, blind spot is excellent because of that extra quarter window back there. And visibility out the back isn't too bad either. So visibility from this driving position, very, very nice. Front seats, I mentioned how they're leather, right? They do look and feel very good, but they're also very comfortable. Also bolstered, so my back is being held in. Same thing with my thighs, and they don't feel uncomfortable. Well cushioned, very supportive. So the seats are very nice, and same thing with the second row. It is very, very comfortable back there, not just because of the seats, but also because of the room. There's so much room inside this Accord. It's amazing. It's really amazing. I'm 5'10", and I have at least 6 to 8 inches of legroom left. That's a lot for a mid-size sedan, and about 3 inches of headroom. And it's the same thing up here. Plenty of headroom, right? Shoulder room, hip room. There's just plenty of space. It's just very spacious inside. Okay, so I just had opportunity to accelerate from 20 to 60 miles per hour. Not bad, in the middle. So this Sport Special Edition is powered by a 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder that is producing 191 horsepower and about the same 191 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a CVT transmission. So the combination is okay. It doesn't feel too lively, but it doesn't feel slow. It's just adequate. Unfortunately, this really pales to the optional engine and transmission, which is a 2-liter turbo engine, and that's made into a 10-speed automatic. I have tested Accords with that combination before, and that is a phenomenal combination. Unfortunately, with a Sport Special Edition, you can't opt for the 2-liter turbo engine for some reason. I mentioned about the ample passenger space on the inside. It's the same thing with the cargo room. You open the trunk, and you'll be surprised by how much trunk space you get with the Accord. And of course, you can fold down the second row and generate more cargo room. Now, as for cabin noise, very, very quiet, but not as quiet as the Touring trim. The Touring trim does get acoustic side glass, which quiets things down a little bit more. Also, the tires are a little bit different, so road noise is a little bit more minimized, but inside overall, it's pretty quiet, very quiet. And this is with the radio off. With the radio on, it's gonna be a whole different story. But yeah, right now, quiet. All right, let's take this a little bit harder. I took that corner slightly more aggressive, and overall, pretty good, pretty good. Limited body roll, and the steering felt pretty good. Now, the steering wheel itself, leather wrapped, and it has a good thickness. I like the steering wheel, and I like the look of it too. But the steering response and steering feel is also pretty good. So when you're driving around, this Accord actually feels pretty good, feels pretty connected, especially with this heavier steering feel and this precision. So when you combine that, you know, the whole package with the suspension and everything else, you're getting a really good ride. As for brakes, they feel pretty good. I know Honda said that they tweaked the brakes for 2021 to make it feel more natural, especially with the hybrid edition. I mean, overall, I think the brakes are good. The pedals a little bit stiffer than I expected, but the Accord comes to a stop without any surprises. There's a good linear feel. It's just the pedal slightly stiffer than I expected. That's all. As for safety features, you pretty much get it all. You get emergency braking and warning, you know, road departure mitigation and warning, right? Adaptive cruise control. The Accord will also read speed limit signs, auto high beam. Those are all included. The one thing that is missing is blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. These are reserved for the higher trim levels like a EX and a Touring. Unfortunately, you don't get it in this Sport Special Edition, but you pretty much get everything else. Now, for me, the Accord is definitely the benchmark when it comes to midsize sedans because it literally does everything well. Everything well. In terms of space, it's class leading. You got loads of passenger space and cargo room on the inside. And also with the outside, the looks is definitely one of the best looking sedans out there. Same thing with the powertrain, right? You get a very powerful 2-liter turbo engine that's available. And if you wanted something more fuel efficient, you can get the 1.5 liter that you get inside here. And also the drive is wonderful and beautiful. You get good steering feel, good throttle and brake feel. Also the visibility, the driving comforts, everything added together. You're getting a wonderful drive. And same thing on the inside, the quality of the seats, the quality of the dash, the design of the dash, the infotainment setup, right? The center console, the steering wheel, even the gauge cluster where half of it is a digital screen. All this combined is good. There's no flaws. There's nothing to it where I could point out and say, oh, that's horrible or that's bad, that needs to be redesigned or that doesn't make any sense. There's nothing like that with the Accord. It's a phenomenal midsize sedan. So next up, let me talk about pricing and give you my final thoughts on the good and bad to this brand new Accord Sport Special Edition. As for pricing, the Sport Special Edition is slotted in between the Sport and EXL trims, and it starts a tad under $29,000. To hear more about the upper Touring trim or the hybrid model, stay till the end of this video where I link them. To conclude, the 2021 Honda Accord Special Edition makes a whole lot of sense. The sporty exterior of the Sport trim is matched with some of the nice features found previously on upper trims. The Honda Accord, as I've mentioned, is the benchmark when it comes to midsize sedans. It's very spacious, has a stylish and modern exterior and interior, is comfortable to drive, comes with plenty of standard and safety features, and provides a very quiet interior. For the bad, the awesome and special 2-liter turbo engine and that 10-speed automatic combination is not available with the Sport Special Edition. Also, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto is not standard, and neither is blind spot monitoring or rear cross traffic alert. I'm giving the brand new 2021 Honda Accord Special Edition a score of 97. To see where it ranks, check out driversonlyrankings.com. Thanks for watching, hit the like and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out these other videos.